Buckle up, space travelers. It's time to go live on S4 with Eric Cooper.
Prepare to go to the edge.
3 years. Over 1,000 followers. 30,000 downloads in the archives. Welcome to S4.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to S4, the official radio broadcast of Forest Moon Paranormal, with host Eric Cooper and our panel of enlightened minds. Coming to you live from FMP headquarters located in the heart of Skagit Valley, Washington, at the base of the majestic North Cascade Mountains. We will take you through a journey of exploration as we examine every aspect of the metaphysical. From spirits, UFOs, Bigfoot, and conspiracies, to grounding, protection, astral travel, and everything in between, leaving you with a better understanding and comprehension of the world around you, and the entities that inhabit it.
Join us every Saturday night at Spreaker.com and locally on KSVU 90.1. Don't forget to check out our new webpage at www.s-4radio.com.
Now sit back, open your mind, get ready, because this is S4.
Good evening or morning, depending where you are, and welcome to S4, the voice of Forest Moon Paranormal, coming to you live from the FMP headquarters in the heart of the Cascade Mountains in Concrete, Washington. FMP is a highly active emergency response team for all aspects of the paranormal, from aggressive hauntings to alien interaction, Bigfoot and other cryptids, and everything in between that's terrifying. S4 is the voice where we discuss these things in detail. Not only can you find S4 right here on Spreaker, but for our local listeners, also on KSVU 90.1 FM from 10 to 12 on Saturday nights with our pre-recorded shows. So this is exciting tonight, folks, because we're less than a week from Paracon. Actually, next Friday kicks off the party. And then, of course, Paracon is on Saturday. So it takes a year of planning, and it's now coming to fruition. So what do you expect at Paracon? What are our speakers going to give us? And what kind of activities are we going to have? You know, so many think you can just slap together an event such as this with little to no time. Nah, you don't need any resources. Well, go ahead and think that and watch your event flop. It takes a good year to plan this kind of an event, and that's something else we'll be discussing tonight. So what does it take to have a good event? We'll come on Saturday and find out. So tonight with us we have Cole Wegleitner, our technical analyst, R. Keith Andrews, our alien race specialist and Paracon speaker, Chris Dodge, EC team and Paracon presenter, Brent Dodge, astral team, and Richard Benak, our FMP astral instructor and also our astral presenter. So how are we all doing tonight, guys?
Just great. Hey. How about you?
Oh, I'm tired. I'm very tired. And as long as our technical crap works tonight, we'll be doing great. But before we get to talking about Paracon, what was special about today?
I think it was yesterday.
I thought it was today.
No, it was yesterday.
Are you serious?
3 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay. And what was it?
It was the storm Area 51.
Yeah, and only 4 people got arrested. Bull crap.
That they said.
See, and here I thought it was Attack of the Lemmings.
Well, it kind of was.
It was, technically. I mean, yeah.
They were all running to their death.
Right. So, there's some other interesting stuff going on, too, and I'm hoping Dave hits it when he does his lecture on Saturday. But I haven't even had a chance to look it up because I've been so damn busy. But did you guys hear that the Navy came out and said UFOs exist?
No, but I did hear them come out and release a video that I think it was the Air Force turned around and confirmed is authentic.
Yeah. I find that, I'm not going to say exciting because, for most of us and for this team, we know they're real. And they've been real since the beginning of time.
Yeah, saying humans exist on Earth.
Right? And what really cracks me up is they've taken the name UFO away, and now they're called UAPs. Like that's going to change anything. Now it's...
Pray tell is a UAP.
Huh?
I said, what, pray tell, is a UAP?
An unidentified aerial phenomena. So it's not a UFO. It's not alien craft. Now it's unidentified aerial phenomena. So that takes...
that's not fun.
It's stupid.
It's kind of like changing the name of aspartame. Like it's going to make a difference to it.
Right? So if we change the acronym, no one's going to report it, or they're going to really. Come on.
Oh, no, it does. It means they haven't been hiding anything.
Yeah, we don't believe in UFOs. We believe in UAPs. It's the same damn thing. What do you think about that, Chris?
And keep it polite.
I think they're all nuts. I was watching a couple of the videos on YouTube, the live stream, and they get to the gates, and then they're like, "Oh, look at the aircraft! They're circling us!" And look at the guys up there in the trucks with the guns, and they didn't even attempt it.
Well,
they didn't even attempt to go across it.
The guy that started this whole plan, which started as a joke, we didn't expect anything to happen with it, but he was scared once he saw 2 million hits that are going to show up, which none of them showed up. There's 300 people? 300 cars anyway.
That.
Huh?
Yeah. There was more than that.
Yeah, there's like 300 cars that were sitting with the little alien, according to Michael.
Well, alien got some good business.
Oh, yeah. Hands down. The thing is, EMS and all the government agencies that had to respond put in how many millions to avert a crisis. I think they had one that had to go to the hospital for dehydration. Well, duh, you're in the desert. You're in the middle of nowhere in the desert. So if you haven't been hydrating for the last month getting ready to go to this event, then, well, that's stupid on you anyway. But,
okay, well, I just cranked up that was the stupid part in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Agree. So in FMP, we've got people going, are you guys going? No. Why? How many people ask us that at the fair, Cole?
Too many.
It's like, no. Check it out. We're an emergency response team. We don't go to a classified location where we're going to get shot. No.
Yeah, I mean, can we take this through for just half a moment? They shoot people that don't tell you they're coming. Do you really think they're not going to shoot you for coming?
Right. So, being ex-military, I'm not going to go because that is technically a military training ground. They're going to treat it like you're trying to infiltrate a military base, which is technically what it is. You're going to die. I'm not going to go there to die. So, no.
Not to mention, you don't even get shot.
Well, not to mention, we have just as much UFO activity out here as they do there.
Yeah.
So why am I going to go there? We have aliens here. Why am I going to go there? That's just stupid.
Well, there is one reason for going there. They, from what I understand, have really good food at the end.
I would like to go there for the food and for a souvenir. I want to go just get a picture of a little alien and drink coffee.
That's one of those things on my bucket list, if you will.
Right? And, we went to Vegas. We went to the Atomic Museum, which had an Area 51 display in it, which was cool. But the thought of going to the extraterrestrial highway didn't really cross my mind. We went to the Hoover Dam, which that was cool. But, I don't know, just having a rental car and going all the way out to, little alien, just, nah.
Well, I'm sort of the opinion I've got low pain threshold in the first place. I don't need to get shot.
Right. So, we don't have to have a moment of silence like we've been talking, because nobody died, which that's a good thing.
That we know of.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, counting down. So, everyone here has seen what it takes to plan Paracon. It takes a year, does it not?
Yeah, no. Pretty much. A year, less a week, maybe.
No.
I think you guys took a week off for Christmas.
Yeah.
There have already been talks about next year's Paracon. We haven't even had this year's Paracon. It takes about a year and a half.
You're breaking off real bad there, Cole.
I said it takes about a year and a half because we have already had talks about next year's event.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. Richard.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Storm Area 51?
I'm generally against storming classified military bases. As you pointed out correctly, it's a good way to get shot. I remember in the 80s, people tended to try and storm the missile silos, and you often had unfortunate incidents. So, just not a good idea.
No, totally agree. So yeah, as we're sitting here talking, I forgot you're sitting. You're too quiet. You gotta interject here. So yeah, you see some of these people that throw events. They just kind of slap them together and they open it up to the public. And well, frankly, they get slammed. They have a crap event that no one's going to come back to. And we started this in 2016. We had a good turnout, despite the fact that certain entities in existence here in the community tried to stop our event. But it still happened, just in a different location. And you were there for that one, Richard.
I remember that. That was, yes, it was, just setting that up. There was a lot of work, and it really turned out very, very well. It was not as big as, this one's going to be, but I was very, very impressed with it, especially since nobody really knew who would be showing up. So I'm looking forward to this year's one because I know it's going to be much bigger. It's in a much bigger venue. So.
Well, it grows. It grows every year, and that's why we're looking at next year already, because if the numbers show up this year that we're anticipating, we're going to need a bigger venue. Hands down. Say again, Keith?
Oh, you just keep cutting out on me about every third word. Looks like I'm going to have fun with tech today.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I had a different word for it.
All right, so we are going to the speaker lineup this year. Doors are going to open at 10 o'clock. Now, I know Richard's got to cut out early. Were you saying something, Cole?
Nope.
Okay. So 10 o'clock is going to be our welcome to Paracon. 10:15 is when Mike Morin is going to step up, and he's going to talk investigative techniques and hauntings. So I think a big confusion, when you hear Paracon, what do you think? Because I get asked, well, what's a Paracon? Chris?
Well,
Oh, Chris?
We know what Paracon is, but how do you, I can understand where people have confusion because Paracon, you're like, what is that? I think if there was a different verbiage used or name used, people would understand it, but that's just my thought on it. People are like, what's a para? Well, they're not thinking paranormal,
And that's why we add to it paranormal conference.
Yes.
But then you still get the ones that ask, well, what's a paranormal conference? Because I think the big misconception is that paranormal just means Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think what we got to do is explain to the effect of paranormal means everything that is not normal. Which the door.
Well, you get the infighting. You get the Bigfoot or the cryptozoologist folks that say Bigfoot's not paranormal. Well, what is he then?
Oh, he's perfectly normal in his own way.
But, cryptids are paranormal. UFOs. You got the UFO. You got the UFO folks going, there's nothing paranormal about UFOs. Yeah, there is. How is it normal?
How is it not?
Oh, quite frankly, because the process was actually quite normal.
It's normal to us.
Yeah.
Me.
But I think a lot of people get their views of the paranormal from Hollywood. Hey, I just saw this movie, and that drives the view. And I think this conference is helping people understand a different perspective, the real world perspective.
And I agree. I agree. But that's why you have to go into detail. And that's, again, a reason for tonight's show is, one, we're going into what next week's going to entail. And two, there's going to be a show next week, but we might be going live during the Paracon, recording it as well, and playing it again on Sunday. But there's not going to be a show at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at our normal time. So, Mike Morin, who's not with us tonight, unfortunately, is going to go into how he investigates hauntings. And that is at 10:15 to 11:15. Then he is one of our tour guides for the Ghost Tour at Northern State Mental Hospital's Dairy. And that will be from, I'm looking at my schedule here, I believe we're doing that from 1 to 3.
Yeah. Yes.
Sounds right.
Oh, no, you have the schedule in front of you.
Yeah, I do. But we have 3 different rotations for that. And that's why every day for the last week or two I've been pushing, get your pre-registration tickets now, because space is limited for that. And I know this county alone You mention anything about a ghost walk or ghosts or Northern State, people jump up and down. They get excited. And as many people as get excited, well, you're going to lose slots. You're going to find out really quick. You might want to get tickets ahead of time next year if you miss it this year. So that's the haunting side.
Well, Eric?
Yeah.
Do you want me to give him a little bit of information on Mike, since he's not here?
So, Mike is the lead investigator of the Haunted Crew of Canada in British Columbia. He's been investigating... I'm not even sure how long he's been investigating. For years, so I've known him for quite a few years now. But they take not only the metaphysical approach to the paranormal, but also the scientific approach. He is one of our techies. So if we have a case in FMP that's boots on ground, oftentimes we'll try to call him in as well with his gear. They use the latest paranormal equipment as well as a medium to uncover not only paranormal activity, but find out the story. They go into the history of a case as well. So that's Mike. And our Bigfoot specialist is also coming from the Haunted Crew of Canada, and that's Jason Jordan. He's been with Haunted Crew of Canada for 2 years. He's got 2 years experience in the Bigfoot field. He's going to delve deep into the mysteries of Bigfoot, some of the lore and history, as well as his own personal experience with Bigfoot. And he is later in the afternoon. We'll get to him. But that covers the Haunted Crew of Canada. You guys want to add anything?
Not that I'm aware of. Probably do, but that'll probably come after the show's over.
Right. So from 11:15 to 11:45, and since Richard's here, Richard's going into the fundamentals of astral projection. So what can folks expect from your workshop, Richard?
Well, thanks, Eric. So basically, what we're going to do is kind of talk a little bit about what is projection and some of the techniques. But we're also going to talk about how we actually apply it. One of the things that I think makes our training a little different than others is that we're very heavily on application of astral projection. It's not just how to astrally project, but how to apply it. You look at how do you use this to do investigation. So we're going to talk about how we basically can astrally project to places and also go move in time, and then how we do overall investigation. So we apply investigative techniques to astral projection. And we also do a lot of work with basically psychic self-defense and psychic combat, how to keep yourself safe in the astral world. So I'm going to talk about how we create a set of exercises to help build up people's skills, and also do stress inoculation techniques so that they can go into more and more intense situations. Because when we do investigations, we tend to go very much into very complex and uncomfortable situations with people, and we need to make sure that everybody has the skill and the training and the psychic perception on how to deal with it. So it's and then we're going to talk a little bit about what our basic classes like, and then I'll also talk a little bit more about what our advanced classes for people who want to move on and do much more advanced work. So I'm very excited to kind of talk about it and give this very different perspective on what people think astral projection is and how it works to support the paranormal investigation process.
Outstanding. And I know, we've got some folks that have bought tickets for the Q&A just to hear about out-of-body experiences and focus a lot on the astral side. So I know you're going to be busy. Also, at the FMP booth, we will have a sign-up sheet for those that want to take the next Astral Basic School. So, going to be a good feature to Paracon this year. And that's going to follow up from 11:45 to 12:15 with Chris Dodge of our Extended Care team. And she's going to talk Paraprotection 101. And that is a requirement to take. Obviously, it's free if you have the general admission anyway. But that's a requirement if you plan on going on the Ghost Walk. So, what can folks expect from you, Chris?
Well, I'm going to talk about what is protection, the importance of using it. I'm also going to take people through the grounding and shielding technique that we use. And I mean, it's pretty basically that. It's be a lot of information with those topics, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get protection out there because, as we all know, there's a lot of groups that do not use it, and it's very important. So I'm going to stress on that and get more people grounding and shielding.
And that brings to my next question for you. Why is it, do you think, that protection's not used, especially in paranormal teams?
I think it's not thought of. I think it's the overall thought of, oh, let's go and see what this is, and are you talking like TV and groups and things like that, or just everybody?
Oh, no,
I think it's new. I don't think that people have concentrated on, oh, wow, I need some kind of protection. I think that, with all the equipment and stuff that's out there that they use to detect, they don't think about bringing things home with them. They don't think about the different level of entities, and they don't think about the different problems and effects that it can happen.
Well, I think the problem may be that people see the astral projection as intangible, and since it's intangible, it can't affect us. The old misconception: what you can't see can't hurt you.
But
yep.
the thing, go ahead. Well, the thing though,
I agree with that completely.
But the thing is, you see Zach Baggins get hurt in every show. You see, Ghost Adventures, they have rocks thrown. They have you see the potential for dangers, even though they're all fake on TV. But you still see the thought or the process that there might be some danger. So wouldn't you think, do you think it's because they don't push protection?
Fundamentally, it's because the things that you're watching are from Hollywood. And Hollywood is a show. And in the back of people's minds, whether they believe in the paranormal or not, when they watch something on Hollywood, put out by Hollywood, any threat is considered staged. It's not something you really have to worry about.
And I get that, and I understand that, and I agree with that. But then you have Tom, Dick, and Harry that watch that show, and they don't see it as staged. They think it's cool, and they want to throw together a team and go out there and investigate. But they're the ones that don't use protection, get hurt, or actually encounter something that they see as real, because it is real. And, well, there you go. So you got, the general population that is saying, yes, it is staged, it's TV. And you got the other ones that go, no, it's reality. We got to educate ourselves with this kind of show. And that's the reality of it.
A lot of people believe it. A lot of people believe the TV shows. And I was watching one last night, a different one, wasn't Ghost Adventures, so I was watching a different one. And at first I was laughing, but then I was getting kind of cranky because they kept saying, "Oh, it's a demon, it's a demon." And but they were talking a lot. A lot of the words were demons. And then finally towards the end, the one guy said, "Well, demons are rare." But okay, why are you using it on TV so much? Quit using that word. But they had to call in a psychic on the case, and nobody, you heard nothing whatsoever of protection. And one of the guys even got pushed by this. I mean, it was a nasty, nasty spirit that was there. But, from my side watching, it's like, you idiot, you should be, where's your protection? And on their side, on the TV, it's like, oh, everything's a demon, but the psychic's going to help us. And sometimes I just watch them for comedy,
So
it is a problem. This is a problem in the paranormal world. It really, really is. In the investigative world, this is a problem. Protection is not, it's not even mentioned. It's not a thing yet. There's two groups that I know of that do investigations, and they know nothing about protection. And it's like, how can you not? Granted, the protection is not 100%, but it can help.
Well, it's better than going in completely vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Regardless. The protective measures we use are 90%. You will have a stronger entity that can get through your shields, that can get through your grounding. Albeit, those cases are rare. Usually we'll send an astral before we go in anyway. But,
right.
It still baffles me, and I agree with you. It's not even discussed on paranormal TV shows, which is where 90% of your general public gets their education.
Yep.
And they're the ones that claim to get attacked, claim to get scratched, get terrified, yada, yada, yada. But they still don't even think about it. So...
No. And I don't think they do until something happens, and I can say that because that is what happened to me. Before I joined FMP, I called you, Eric, to come deal with a situation for me at work, and it's like, oh my God, there's things like that out there?
Right.
And, well, it wasn't necessarily that. It's like, oh my God, there's things like that in my office. And, and when you see it, and I got scared. I was scared. And then when you learn about protection, you feel a little bit more, you feel a lot more in control of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And now if I encountered something like that, doesn't bother me.
It's okay for things like that to be out there. It's another thing for them to be in here.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's paranormal protection, 11:45 a.m. to 12:15. Then from 12:15 to 1 p.m. we have Bill Hauser, and he will be doing a spirit box session. Again, he's not with us tonight, but you got to wait until next Saturday to see him. So Bill Hauser is a paranormal investigator and researcher out of British Columbia. He's got over 18 years of experience in the field. He specializes in hauntings. He uses the latest technology. He has numerous different spirit boxes he uses that are great. You can hear him on Spaced Out Radio. He does go on there and do spirit box sessions on the radio with Dave. He was at our very first Paracon, as a matter of fact, back in 2016, and did the same thing. It's been a couple of years, so he's going to be back this year. You can also find him on YouTube. He does sessions on YouTube as well on his YouTube channel. Just look for Bill Hauser. So he's up from 12:15 to 1. Then from 1 to 3 is lunch. Now, that doesn't give you a 2-hour break of nothing, because from 1 to 3 is also 2 different things. You can go on the Ghost Walk. If Ghost Walk is not not everybody's into going on Ghost Walks. So, from 1 to 2, I will be talking about Paranormal 101 and basically how Forest Moon Paranormal handles emergency response issues with the paranormal. So, for those that might be new, I've got close to 30 years in the field. 24 of those are on the UFO and abduction side, but 30 years total with the paranormal in general. I'm a little newer towards the Bigfoot. I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago that I got into the Bigfoot side because I actually had an encounter. So from 1 to 2 is going to be me talking to you about Paranormal 101 and FMP. From 2 to 3 will be me and Cole and I talking S4. The founding of S4, how to find S4, topics we talk about on S4, and why it's the voice of FMP. So that's going to cover from 1 to 3. So from 12:30 to 3, again, is the Ghost Walk. See, I'm looking here. And from 3 to 4, Keith, you're talking alien abduction and the agendas.
I am.
So, what can folks expect when you talk about alien abduction? And tell us a little bit about your new book.
Well, first of all, I'm a firm believer people can expect what they'd like, but in answer to the other side of it, what we intend on covering, and I do, for obvious reasons, I recommend taking a look at the book. We're going to be covering a lot of different races. Surprisingly, not all of them independently are on their own. So you'll find a lot of them work together. Right. We'll cover which ones work together, which are the most likely to produce a positive experience, if you will, and explain what the reason for the abductions on the whole is, as well as how they go about them. I've even got some information on some of the tools that they use.
Excellent.
Now, unfortunately, I do not have slides, and I'm a lousy artist, but I will explain it as best I can. As well as just exactly why they're doing it and what extremes or what measures they will go to try and make it less of a problem for the abductee. Now, of course, with the book itself, the book itself will be on sale. Well, in all fairness, it's on sale now, but I will have a number of copies there for sale at the Paracon. We actually have 59 races in the book itself that cover everything from culture to the descriptions, what have you. I'm working on actually getting pictures done, done by an artist. The idea with it is, if I can give you the reference manual to take with you when you go home, right? We're selling it at $20, but it covers the information on the races, on the Galactic Consortium itself, which is the governing body that keeps tabs on what the races are up to, as well as a little bit of information on the hybridization program.
Excellent.
Which we're getting to the other side of it.
Yeah, that's a program all by itself.
Oh yeah.
And for those that have listened to S4 for a while, you know that. So, Cole, I want you to tell us a little bit about what to expect from 2 to 3.
From 2 to 3.
That was a no.
Oh, that's us. Sorry. I guess I'm fighting a cold right now, but...
So how much do you want him to say?
So, from 2 to 3, we're going to actually... From 1 to 3, we are actually going to go live on Spreaker with S4. And the first hour will be, obviously, Eric talking Paranormal 101. And how he started Forest Moon Paranormal itself. The second hour will be us talking S4, and we will be talking about the creation of S4, how the last 3 years have gone, and where we are going into the future. So what to expect from us, what we expect from our show, and how it's going to go.
Outstanding. Thank you, Cole. Yeah, I didn't want to pull you in, but you've got to talk. And you have less than a week to get over your cold.
I know. It'll happen.
It will. It will.
Technology. I see.
Say again? So from 4 to 5:30, and we've incorporated, so Jason Jordan is the keynote. Every year, Paracon, even though it is a paranormal convention, we cover every aspect of the paranormal. We always have a theme. Reason being is, so this year it's Bigfoot. So everything focuses on Bigfoot, but we still have speakers on all aspects. So like our Paracon t-shirt, it's going to be Bigfoot. The decorations are going to be Bigfoot. And then we'll have a keynote, which only focuses on the theme. And that's why he gets an extra half hour. And that's Jason Jordan. So he's the Bigfoot specialist again for the Haunted Crew of Canada. He has, I believe, 2 years in the Bigfoot research field, and that's because, like many of us, he had an encounter. And his encounters brought out more questions than answers, which is why that's all he focuses on. He's in the field all the time. Now, he's bringing with him Jason Sacrison. Jason Sacrison is a member of the Canadian Bigfoot Research Organization, otherwise known as BFRO. He's joining with Jason to talk about his experiences as well as Bigfoot. So you got two speakers as keynotes. Following the lecture, Jason's going to be going into, from 5:30 to 6, how to set up a Bigfoot gifting site. So what is a Bigfoot gifting site? So many of us that do Bigfoot investigation, if you go to a hot spot, and so in my experience, in many of the encounters I've heard people talk about, Bigfoot likes marshmallows, Hot Wheels, anything shiny really, marbles. I know some people even hang CDs from tree branches. And if you set up a Bigfoot gifting site, you will have those items are taken, and oftentimes rocks, flowers, things are gifted back to you. So Jason's going to go more into that, how to set up a gifting site, what to expect, what you probably shouldn't do, things of that nature. And last but not least, so Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio has been with us at Paracon. This will be his 4th year. He's been with us every year. And he likes to close. So we always have him as our closing speaker. And he'll be talking from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on controlling the media. And not us controlling the media, but how the media manipulates the paranormal, specifically the UFO field. So, a couple of years ago, the media hushed up anything UFO. But now you see the UFO, the media talking more and more, and it's not snarky. It's not, they smirk and they say, "Oh, look, E.T. came down." Nothing like that. They actually talk a little more serious about it. So are they manipulated by the government into what to say or not to say, and why is it changing now? And like I said, he's our closing speaker. So Dave's been the host of Spaced Out Radio, I guess, for going on 5 years. because he started SOR a couple years before we started S4. He's got a degree in journalism. He's been, a radio DJ, a news broadcaster years before he got into the paranormal. So he's excellent on the radio. So you're going to find swag from Spaced Out Radio in our swag bags. We'll get into that later on in the show as part of what Paracon has to offer. But Paracon's going to end at 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock, you're going to hear me again talk about thanks for coming. Stay tuned for Roundtable. Then we have Dave. We kick everybody out. We close the doors. And Dave starts a special paranormal reporting workshop from 7:15 to 7:45. And that's so we can set up for the Q&A dinner. And that's only for VIP holders, ticket holders, unless you want the Q&A panel tickets. And you can get those on the website. We'll get to that later. So, what's Dave talking about in the workshop? Well, if you see a UFO, what do you report? Do you report the size of it, the duration, the light patterns? People get confused by what they actually see, and it'd make it so much easier if people did their own research and said, oh, well, that's odd because Mercury was right there in the same spot. So maybe it was Mercury I saw, not really an extraterrestrial craft. So these are some of the things he'll be talking about from 7:15 to 7:45. And then the Q&A panel, we have, what do we have for dinner, Cole?
We're having spaghetti.
We're on a diet.
We're having spaghetti with Caesar salad and garlic bread provided by Pioneer Marketplace and Cesar Woolley.
Oh, we're going to get into the sponsors here shortly.
Perfect.
I got none of what you just said.
And then Chris is going to let us know what kind of raffle items we got.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no, not yet, because we're getting close to the top of the hour.
You said my name, so I was ready.
I know it. So
excited about it.
So I know we're limited to time with you, Richard. So let's pull you in for at least the next 15 minutes. So what do you expect when you go to a Paracon?
Basically, what I really enjoy about it is you get a wide variety of viewpoints. I do a lot of work on, obviously, with the astral projection scenes, so that tends to be very much about what I see. I tend to focus very much about the astral side, the investigative side, and I work with Chris on a lot of the protection side, but understanding these other areas such as the UFOs and the Bigfoot. It's a good way to just meet people who do other areas, and just it's a way to kind of exchange thoughts and share information. Even if you don't necessarily agree with everything that's their perspective, it's about sharing information.
Now, what are your thoughts on Bigfoot?
I'll be honest, I haven't really thought a whole lot about it. There's been a lot of some interesting investigations about this, but it's not an area that I've done a lot of work on. So, the first Paracon I went to was sort of my first real big introduction to it, and you had somebody there who was very, very, who's a Native American who did a lot of work on that, and that was very, very fascinating from my perspective. So.
Do you think, and if you could, your volume's a little bit low, and I know you're on a phone, so that makes a big difference. But do you think Bigfoot could be detected from the astral?
It's an interesting perspective. I think a lot of it is you could probably more look for evidence. So, it's an opportunity to go out and use astral projection investigative techniques to go look for evidence of, Bigfoot or UFOs or other paranormal investigations. We do also we use normal technology, remote viewing, like Google Maps. Right? It's an opportunity to kind of merge the astral with some of the remote sensing to look for areas. Is this feasible for an area, to find something like Bigfoot? Some areas obviously would be better than others. So I think it's an area that we really haven't looked at very much, but it might be worth, in a future group. How do we start merging, the astral projection with other paranormal investigative interests?
I like it. Sounds good. Why is it, do you think, because to my knowledge, FMP is really the first team that took the paranormal as an emergency response view and utilized astral. Why do you think more teams don't? Or do you think it's just lack of knowledge?
I think so. I think a lot of it is, Eric, what you've done is you've brought in a lot of people with military backgrounds, and so that's a very different perspective. When you're in the military, to mobilize, you go out, you do a lot of work with emergency response, and taking that same mentality, that same training and thinking, and apply it to a paranormal situation. So I think maybe there are other teams that don't necessarily have the depth of experience and the background to be able to apply those type of situations and experiences to this. So a lot of times it's people who may have different backgrounds and techie backgrounds or kind of more a magical background, but they don't necessarily have the boots on the ground, incident response, emergency response, investigative technique down that comes with like a military or professional experience.
And I can see that, but I guess my other, not problem or issue, I've seen other military-based paranormal groups out there that also, they don't believe in astral. So, I don't know. I get confused because astral is a perfect asset to utilize with paranormal issues. But I think I do think you hit on the magical side of it, because as pagans, which is really where FMP started, although we are, a mixed group now of varying beliefs. We got Muslim, we got Christian, we got Catholic, along with pagan. But I think pagan is really where the astral side began.
There's a lot to that, but we also need to understand that the U.S. military did a lot of work with astral projection. They called it remote viewing back in the 70s up to the 90s. So, more or less the reason they got rid of it was just a bad PR, not that it didn't work, but it was just, like I said, after the end of the Cold War, it was just, like I said, more trouble than it was worth. But, they did the same thing that we do, is they took a lot of maybe some of the less woo-woo, put some good science behind it, put some investigative technique, and put a lot of military processes and practices behind it to make it very useful, where you can actually rely on its results. And that's what we try and do as well.
Right. And that makes sense. And yeah, I don't think they stopped remote viewing. I think they just hushed it up, and they do it behind the scenes, to be honest with you. I know they were remote viewing back in Vietnam as well. It was Vietnam and the Cold War.
Yeah, I think based on my research, what they've done is they've kind of taken it, turned it a little bit, threw it into their information warfare program, and now they kind of bury it. It's like, oh, we hack computers, we hack people's minds. We don't call it remote viewing. We call it influence operations or neurocognitive warfare or something.
And we can blame the CIA for that one. But yeah, absolutely. It's a part of PSYOPs now. So
exactly. And so a lot of
So what's your thoughts?
That,
no, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Eric.
So what's your thoughts on all that, Chris?
Did you say me?
Yeah.
Oh. on what I expect to see at Paranormal?
No.
Convention? Is that what you...
No. Oh.
I was watching Brent. He's being weird, so...
I'm not going to...
I missed it. But Richard's hard to hear. He's real hard to hear.
So what's your thoughts on why is FMP one of the first emergency response teams to actually utilize astral with paranormal?
Well, I think that, well, if I was on the Forest Moon Paranormal page and I was interested in astral, I would see that you actually offer an extended training program. I don't know why you use it, Eric. Why you're the one that can answer that. But looking at it from the outside, I honestly think it's the training program that you have other teams don't have. They don't have the contacts to, they don't know Richard. You've got people that do the training classes, and if they don't know about it, they're not going to try it. And if they don't have the expertise, contacts about astral, then they're not going to try it.
I
Makes
think
sense?
An excellent point. That's an excellent point, because I think a lot of it, the theory that it doesn't require any special abilities, is based on the whole concept of we can train anybody to be, an investigator as long as they're willing to do the work. And I think that's makes us somewhat, I wouldn't say unique, but it means that anybody can do this work, and that people feel comfortable knowing that we are open to everybody and not people who just might have special abilities. If you're willing to do the work, we can do it.
Of course, there is one other little problem. Finding people who accept the paranormal is challenging enough, but finding people capable of astral, that are already functionally capable of astral travel, that are willing to put their neck on the line for it, is a whole different ballgame. You're looking for a needle in a haystack most of the time.
Agreed. And I'll add to that is that we do have about a 50% dropout rate. Once they understand that there's a lot of work that goes into learning astral, one of the questions I get right off the top is, well, don't you have to have special abilities to astral? No, you don't. Anyone can astral. Some of us are blocked. I'll add that. I am blocked. But not everybody is. About 90% of the human population can astral. They have to learn it. It's a learned skill. It doesn't mean you have to be psychic. It doesn't mean you have to have special abilities. No, anybody can learn it. And that's what many people need to understand.
You do.
A lot of people have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You do realize that astral travel itself is technically classified in today's vernacular as a psychic ability to start with, which is fine. Everybody's born with it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and that's what the research has basically shown, is that it's a capability all humans have, basically, coming from our most ancient times. It's just we've lost it as we've become more and more civilized, quote unquote.
Right.
But we can bring it back with training.
And with that, we are at the top of the hour, so we got to go to break. When we come back, we will carry on with what can you expect at Paracon.
You are listening to S4 on Spreaker.com.
Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
We've had several days of 80-degree plus weather here in Concrete, Washington. My family's favorite way to keep cool in this heat is to stop by Java Zone 2 and grab a delicious iced latte for me and a blended mocha for my husband. Our son just loves their creamy milkshakes, and our daughter can't get enough of their ice cream. The best part is, Java Zone 2 is conveniently located just off Highway 20 beside Loggers Landing. And I'm proud to shop local for a business that has been a staple of the Concrete and Upriver community since it opened its doors in 2010. So if you're looking for a way to keep cool in this summer heat, come check out Java Zone 2. They're fast, friendly, and local.
Hello, my name's Cole Wegleitner with Statement of Sound DJ Productions. We do mixing, monitoring, recording, and...
You are listening to S4 on Spreaker.com.
Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
We've had several days of 80-degree plus weather here in Concrete, Washington. My family's favorite way to keep cool in this heat is to stop by Java Zone 2 and grab a delicious iced latte for me and a blended mocha for my husband. Our son just loves their creamy milkshakes, and our daughter can't get enough of their ice cream. The best part is, Java Zone 2 is conveniently located just off Highway 20 beside Loggers Landing. And I'm proud to shop local for a business that has been a staple of the Concrete and Upriver community since it opened its doors in 2010. So if you're looking for a way to keep cool in this summer heat, come check out Java Zone 2. They're fast, friendly, and local.
Hello, my name's Cole Wegleitner with Statement of Sound DJ Productions. We do mixing, monitoring, recording, and editing for all your audio needs. For our local listeners in the Skagit area, we are taking bookings for your 2019 events and parties. We have a wide array of music from any genre. Please allow us to help you make these memories last forever. Contact us at 360-999-2830 or on Facebook at www.facebook.com/SOSDJPro.
Forest Moon Paranormal is a non-for-profit emergency response team that handles all aspects of the paranormal, helping you, your family, friends, and community since 2004. Whether you're having a problem with hauntings, spirits, Bigfoot, other types of cryptids, or UFO activity. Maybe you're just unsure of what's bothering or terrifying you. Or maybe you're just afraid of criticism and disbelief. FMP is here for you. We handle cases globally and locally from our headquarters in Skagit County, Washington. We never accept any form of payment for our services and are 100% confidential. You can find us on Facebook under Forest Moon Paranormal. You can private message us for assistance, or just come join in the discussion and become part of our growing FMP community.
Are you having encounters with the paranormal, supernatural, or ufological that you cannot explain? Look no further than the SOR Sightlines Report, brought to you by the Experiencers Support Association. This is Ryan Stacy, head of the Research Association, TESSA. Soon on the Spaced Out Radio website, you will be able to file your reports and have them researched for you. We are independent and ready to help Spaced Out Radio listeners today.
Join us on September 28th at the Cedro Woolley Community Center for 2019 Forest Moon Paranormal Paracon. VIP All Access passes on sale now at fmparacon.com. Your pass includes all-day admission to see the speakers and workshops, the Ghost Walk, a special VIP workshop, a special round table with the speakers, a Paracon t-shirt, and an FMP Paracon swag bag. These tickets can be purchased from fmparacon.com. Get yours today.
Hey everyone, Cole here with S4 Paranormal Radio, the official voice of Forest Moon Paranormal. Looking for a way to get the word out there about your business, group, team, or product? Let us help you. A few clicks is all it takes to get started at s-4radio.com, or you can contact me at 360-999-2830.
Welcome back to S4 with your host, Eric Cooper.
Welcome back to S4. Tonight's Paracon. What is it, and what do I expect? You can also find the archives at our Spreaker site and on the S4 YouTube channel for all the shows you missed in the last 3 years. Anyway, back to the show. So, we have Trip and PBR in the chat. Welcome to the show. Great you guys joined us. And tonight we're talking what's going to happen next week when we have the FMP, 4th Annual Paracon, something we've been looking forward to for the last year. Anyway, let's move on. We've already talked about the itinerary. We've already talked about the speakers. Let's talk about our vendors. So, I know you're sick, Cole. What are we going to look forward to at Weg Leitner's Oddities?
I don't know. That's my wife's stuff. I honestly don't know what she has been making. I know she's been making some wreaths that aren't for, well, they can be used for Christmas, but they're not Christmas based. They're more of an all year round type wreath. Mm-hmm. And then she's got a lot of magnets, different little odd things that you normally wouldn't see. She's one heck of an artist when it comes to some of these crafting things.
Outstanding. I don't have a little blurb on all of our, it irritates me, of our vendors. I know I've got an etch, and they do glass etching. They do, glasses, and they're going to have etchings of Bigfoot, I believe of UFOs. So we have Dirty Works Inc. We have
Mystic something.
Mystic Gypsy.
That's right, Mystic Gypsy. I'm excited to see them.
What do they got?
They have a bunch of different types of stones and items for...
I'm not getting anything from you.
They're going to have a bunch of different types of stones and pagan items, a lot of sage, that kind of thing.
Awesome. I know we have 2 cranky cats, and we actually have responses from some folks that want to come to Paracon, and they're excited because 2 cranky cats was with us last year, and they were excited about coming back. So we have 2 cranky cats. We have Maiden Mother Chrome Creations, which is Angela Correz, a friend of Forest Moon, and a pagan shop out of Tacoma. And she's bringing tarot decks, she's bringing stones, she's bringing sage, she's bringing books. She's a full-scale store. So looking forward to her booth. We have an author, Susan Olds. I believe she's the vampire author we have.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we have Bloom Apothecary. So Bloom Apothecary is an apothecary out of Anacortes. It's Debbie Nickerson. She's one of our locals here. I believe it's her daughter-in-law's store. And they sell oils and herbs and things like that. So we have a lot of awesome vendors that are going to be there. And, of course, all of our speakers, all of our presenters will have a table. We're going to have an autograph sheet. So all of our guests at the Paracon can pick one up and have all the speakers get autographs on a sheet.
As well as at Keith's table, he will be selling his books, which I cannot wait to read.
Nope, and they're in printing right now. So Keith is having technical difficulties. I believe we're going to have to drop him. And I know Richard is got to get up early. Do you not, Richard?
Yep, I'm still good for a little while longer, though.
Okay, good. Outstanding. So what's available at Paracon? Autographs from all of the presenters. We're obviously going to have a handout that's got a little bio of each of the presenters. We have our FMP Bigfoot and FMP Alien are going to be there for photos, so you can get selfies. They'll be walking around. We also have the Bigfoot booth, which is going to have... Well, tell us a little bit about the photo booth. Cole?
Well, it's going to have a background of a wooded forest area, and you will be able to take any pictures you'd like in there with Bigfoot when he's live. Other than that, we will have a 7-foot tall Bigfoot standee in there as well for you to take a picture with.
Awesome. Now let's talk raffles. Chris?
Yes. We've got quite a few. Of course, all the vendors will give something for raffle, but we've got raffles anywhere from kitten package from a local vet and puppy package, and we've got restaurant certificates. We've got quite a few things that we're going to be doing.
Excellent. And so it's a bigger event this year. You know, a lot of people get confused by what it takes to put on a good event. And it takes a lot of funding to actually put on an event worth going to. And so this year at the FMP booth, we do have mugs. We have Paracon t-shirts. We have keychains, bumper stickers, S4 mugs, blow-up aliens. We have alien glasses, sunglasses. Buttons. You know, we have a lot of... we have swag bags that are made for VIP ticket holders, but we will be selling any of them that are extra as well. And I'm looking through all my handouts here.
We'll have some protection packets.
Yeah, those are awesome.
They are. So tell us a little bit about the protection packets, Chris.
Well, there's different stages in protection, and I'm including a good-sized little chunk of tourmaline, which is the highest protection stone, and written instructions. Like I said, I'll be taking people through the grounding and shielding there, and then I also have it written. The grounding and the shielding are written up. What the tourmaline stone is, interesting things about what the stone is. I'm also including how to cleanse your stones, how to charge your stones, and tips on smudging your home. And that's all included in the little protection packet, and it's $3 a packet. So they're getting a good deal on that.
Excellent. And we have a lot of great sponsors this year. So this year for our sponsors, we have Friends Outlet Bakery. We have Pioneer Market. We have North Cascade Veterinary Group. We have Pampered Pooch. Precision Piercing. Metaphysical Bookstore and Gifts. Coho Liquidator. Magnolia Grill. Statement of Sound DJ Services. Bullpen Sports Bar and Grill, and Spaced Out Radio. Am I missing any?
The Sons of Sin Motorcycle Club.
Sons of Sin Motorcycle Club. So what's Sons of Sin doing for us?
They are going to be our security for this year's event.
Outstanding. And do you want to go into who they are a little bit?
So they are a motorcycle club out of Marysville, Washington. Their president is Sean Janes. He is one of my best friends, and their motto is music, motorcycles, brotherhood. These guys, they're not what a lot of people think of when they think motorcycle gangs. These guys are a family. They ride together. They do everything together. They go for picnics. They go on to events. So this weekend they're actually at the Oyster Run in Anacortes, I believe it is. And they're having a great time as far as I saw on Facebook. So they're a great group of guys and ladies, and they are going to do an awesome job for us, keeping us safe.
Indeed. I look forward to meeting those guys. Those guys are going to be awesome. They are providing security for us at the Ghost Walk as well as at the actual Paracon event. So, going to be good. Always good to have security. You never know who's going to show up at these kind of events. I forgot to say, too, we also have free guitar picks. FMP guitar picks will be on the FMP table as well. I don't know why I forgot that. And we have a kids' activity table. So, we're going to have, coloring pages for any of the kids that show up. It is a family-friendly event. And that leads us to the Q&A. So what are we looking for? What do folks look for at the Q&A panel, Chris?
I bet you're going to get a lot of questions. We'll get a lot of questions on their own experiences and what it was, and of course they will have learned protection. They will have learned about astral. So that's a hard question, Eric, because the Paracon is going to be so thorough with all the speakers that by the time you get to Q&A, I think a lot of their questions may already be answered. So either they'll talk about their own experience, or they will want to know more about the speakers' experiences.
I don't know, because, as they put everything together, because the Paracon is an overall well-rounded event. But
right.
a lot of these folks don't have time to ask questions of the speakers as they're talking. So they're going to have questions about their specific situations. Or, for Keith, for example, I was abducted at the age of 7. The alien looked like this. What race do you think it was? And that would be directed, that would be directed at Keith. But anyone on the panel is going to be able to interject. Everyone on the panel has had their own experiences as well, their own areas of expertise within research. You're focused on protection. Me, I'm more the UFO alien side, whereas Keith is the alien race side. He knows way more than I do ever when it comes to alien races. When it comes to UFO reports, that's where I can step in. When it comes to alien abduction signs and symptoms, I can step in. And then, of course, Keith will jump in and say, oh, that was the Nordics, for example. Things like that. So this is where you get to basically rub elbows with the and get to know the speakers a lot closer. So let's talk lunch. What are we doing for lunch?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Or anybody? Okay. Doing hot dogs, chili dogs, chili and cheese, chips. You can get loaded chips with chili cheese, onion, and even jalapenos. And then we're going to have coffee, tea, hot chocolate, water, and soda. And you can get like a hot dog for $6, and then there's going to be a meal with that, and you get a cookie, and it isn't really my area, so I'm kind of like going blank here, but it's going to be a really good lunch menu. You can even get cups of chili. Help me out here, Cole.
So Megan's in the chat room. She says, Frito pie?
Frito pie?
I think...
Huh?
You're a Frito pie, Megan. Don't call us Frito pies.
Pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think, and I may be wrong, but Frito pie, I think, is kind of like what we're doing for loaded chips.
Loaded chips, yeah. Yeah.
Well, so like I actually learned that idea from the kids' school. So their school does that once a month, where they actually open up a bag of chips on its side and pour a bunch of like different taco ingredients inside, and they eat it with a fork.
Huh.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. Heck yeah.
So, Trippin saying, please tell me they ordered porta potties. We don't need porta potties. This is an actual building. It's the Cedar Woolley Community Center. So, yeah, we have real bathrooms with running water. Imagine that.
Yeah. And lights.
Plus, there's an extra set of bathrooms outside.
There are actually porta-johns out in the playground. So, there is a playground
They're not
as well.
porta-johns. Those are nice bathrooms out in that park.
It's regular.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're really nice.
You know what I find sets this whole Paracon apart from every other one I've heard of?
What's that?
Me?
Half of this is literally a split the difference issue, where half the speakers are from the States and the other half are from Canada.
And I agree, and I don't see, being in Washington, where the border is 45 minutes away, I don't see Canada so much as an international. You're not an international speaker to me. You might as well be in America.
Whoa.
Love
it. Calm down there, man.
Well, it's not an international event. Because, we can go over to Canada in, 45 to an hour. So...
Yeah, through customs.
So,
I will say,
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I will say that this event, I think what makes it so well is that this team, if you look at each individual, we have individual talents and ideas that we pull together very well. I think we all work well together. We have a good time together. And we're so well-rounded. And we can throw ideas off of each other. And that's how this has come together so well. And we're like a family.
Yeah,
and it's going to be,
in a lot of ways, we really are.
Yeah.
Well, the last 4 years, the Paracon has essentially been a family reunion of sorts. It's where we bring our friends to speak, but they're our friends. So it's the one time a year we get to see our friends, and that's why we have. So my kids are too young; they don't get to go to Paracon. So we have the speaker barbecue, as we have for the last 3 years, going on 4 now, and that's their Paracon. At the ages of 7 and 8, they can't handle a full day and half the evening at a Paracon. So they get to, this is their time to talk to Dave and Keith and Mike, because they know Dave and Keith and Mike, and they get to see them once a year. That's why we have a speaker barbecue here at headquarters.
Yeah. I just think people are going to be amazed at how well it's going to go this year. And the nice thing about the venue is if there are disabled people, this is a flat entrance. So it's going to be very nice for everybody to go to. And we're the kind of team that, you can come up to any one of us and talk to us. It's just going to be awesome.
Yeah, and actually knowing that for a fact, because last year did suck a little bit, being someone who was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't like about last year was you couldn't drink. Me personally, if I go to an event, I've got to have my coffee in my hand.
What would be a real useful stat to have for people when we get to the Paracon itself? Find out just how many years combined experience that we actually have, that the team combined actually has in the field.
Agreed.
Yeah.
As of Thursday, I have 1 year.
I think I'm going on 2, I think.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. So I think, Richard, you've been our astral instructor for about 4 years, going on 5?
Yeah, and I did 2 years of missions, so.
I'm just really getting excited.
Indeed.
Yeah, I find it fascinating, especially when you start breaking up into which fields people have experience in. And I mean before they got to S4 even. Because you've got a heck of a database between you.
Indeed. And don't mind me, I'm listening to gunshots behind the house. So, yeah. So,
what?
Just let us know.
Gang wars.
Being at midnight, it's considered poaching right now. But,
Oh.
Anyway. So, why do we need to have a Paracon?
To teach people.
Plus, September's a really boring month.
Well, so 2016, we actually had our first annual Paracon in October. Reason being, it made more sense, or we thought it would be cool to actually have it closer to Halloween. And it worked. I thought it was a decent event for a first event. We still had, even for our first annual event, we still had between 70 and 100 people. And we covered Bigfoot. We covered aliens. We covered... Let's see, I think we didn't really cover aliens. I gave a UFO presentation. We had Tyler give a Bigfoot presentation. We covered hauntings. We still had a well-rounded event. And we still did a roundtable. So one thing we've always done, all 4 years, is the roundtable, which we now call the Q&A panel. So, I'm sitting here thinking.
I gotta tell you my funny story today. Can I tell you my funny story?
Of course.
I mean, it was a funny story. It was a fun story. It was a cool story. So, Chris loves garage sales. Garage sales. So I'm at this garage sale, and I'm just about ready to leave, and I see this woman kind of walking towards me. She's talking to somebody else, and she's talking about a skull. She likes Halloween. She wanted to go to the party or the Halloween store and get a skull for Halloween. Well, I'm thinking, the woman likes Halloween. She's looking at the skull. So I took a chance and I said, well, if you like that kind of stuff, you should come to our Paracon. She's like, what? Where is it? And so I told her where it was. And I told her the rundown of everything we're having, and I got to Ghost Walk at Northern State. She's like, are you kidding me? My husband and I have been wanting to do that for so long. So, of course, Chris forgets her business card, so I had to get one from Brent. But, yeah, she's like, oh, my God, my husband and I are going to be there. So it was a fun story. It was a funny story. It was a cool story. So now we got 2 more people coming, and it was just fun. Just had to share.
Well, yeah. And, that's the thing. We have the flyers out. Not like we should. We'll be working on that this week. We have signs out. We have it all over Facebook. How else do you reach people? Those are the kind of people you want.
Yep. Word of mouth.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to kidnap people. Oh, wait.
Well, I think...
Never mind.
For this year, we're pretty much in the bin already. But for next year, you start advertising earlier.
Well, and that's, that's where we're going. Immediately, and that's why, Cole was talking earlier. Oh, and Megan says you're going to kidnap with a pointy stick.
Here's what. Well, he's got a ring for an actual. Actually, you guys are military. You can do it. Get a helicopter and doll it up like a UFO and see if that can get you some attention.
All right.
Izzy, I don't know if you're listening, but Keith just said we should get a helicopter. So.
Oh, she's asleep. She took her back medication and went out.
Everybody, make sure you tell her.
Oh yeah, Keith
we need an Apache.
So, like I said, I've seen too many events. So there's 2 kinds of events: the ones that don't plan properly, and it shows, and you got the other ones. But on that, you can never plan for the inevitable. There's always going to be something that you didn't plan for. So we try to cover all bases, but there's going to be hiccups. There's hiccups with every event. But then you've got the Paracons that are way too much. I mean, I've been wanting to go to a MUFON symposium for a good 10, 15 years, but they want like $400 or $500. I don't know of too many people that can afford $400 or $500. And we did Paracon for the first 2 years totally free. Well, when you're doing a free Paracon, just serving meals and charging for meals in your VIP tickets, that doesn't pay for Paracon, which is why we went to $10 admission and offered the Ghost Walk and offered, you get everything for your VIP ticket. But we learned really quick that, the first 2 years were free, but you can't pay for your Paracon, and I can't afford to pay it out of pocket anymore. And that's why we went to charging. And what are we up to? I think it costs roughly $4,500 to run a Paracon like this.
Wow. That's what's on paper. There are added costs that you don't normally think about for it. Like, you got to think of how much gas we've went through just going to different places, doing different things.
You take it right off on me.
Say again?
And people are generally willing to pay are willing to pay for high quality and stuff. It's worth it.
Exactly. But, I look at, and I'm not going to say any names, not by any means, but you look at some of the other Paracon events, and they charge you per speaker. You got to pay this much to hear this speaker, this much to hear this speaker. And I never got that. That's why we have a one price, and you hear everything for the whole day. Why am I going to charge you per speaker? That to me never made sense.
And like Cole says, there's extra things that are put into it. But again, that's our group. We will say to you or Izzy, oh, you need this? Well, we'll go get it. And we just do that. So, yeah, Cole, there is a lot of stuff that's not accounted for that is on top of that money.
Yeah.
But that's us just working together.
Exactly. And that's why, the FMP team pulls together to make this event, the main event. So why do we have a Paracon? The Paracon is the education branch of FMP. This is where we reach out to the community, to the public, to educate them about what the paranormal really is. Just like S4.
And I think, there's people out there that they believe, but they keep it quiet. And I think that Paracon is actually an outlet for them. Yeah, I can be around other people for a day that actually think the same way I do. So it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I can go around people that have my same beliefs. And that's what they want.
Yeah, without getting ostracized.
Well, that's been some of the comments. That's actually been some of the comments, in the Paracon Facebook page, is that, wow, I can go to an event where I can actually talk about aliens. I can actually talk about spirits. And people will understand what I'm talking about.
And they get more information. Yep.
Exactly. But again, it's a matter of, and I agree, word of mouth is very powerful, but it's a matter of where do we put the flyers? Where do we put the signs? How do we get the word out to the most amount of people and don't get taken down? We actually have some radio stations that are actually talking about potentially coming to the event to promote their stations. KSVU may be one of those. But KSVU is actually a nonprofit. So we are encouraging them to have a table at Paracon because they support S4. They support FMP. At least the station manager does. So by all means, as a nonprofit radio station, they need help as well.
And each year we're going to increase. I mean, Cole is an asset to the team because he's got so many good marketing ideas that he puts into play, and this team is going to grow, and we're going to get the word out there. There's a lot of people in this county that don't even realize that there's a paranormal team right here. But we'll get on that.
Well, and this is the first year too that FMP has actually been in like the Cedar Woolley Log Rodeo Parade.
Yep.
We start doing in the Skagit County Fair. We start getting out to major community events. The community itself will find out about us.
Yeah.
We're already known internationally, but we need more local advertising because we need.
Yep.
It'd be nicer to have. It'd be nice to have a bigger boots on ground team, for example.
Yep.
So another thing that we're pushing at Paracon is 1, Astro School, and 2, joining the FMP team, because we start our training cycle in October, and there will be more to follow on that. But we'll start.
We're doing the protection class again in October also.
Yeah. So when is the next extended care school? Have you thought about that yet?
October 6th. Yeah, October 6th.
Okay, let's go into that real quick. So what can folks expect, and what's required to be on the extended care team?
The only real requirement is, you have to be empathetic. You have to be able to want to help people. And I just take the trainees through how to deal with clients, what to look for, and how to help them. The main goal is you're there as EC for these clients to put them back in control of their life. Because I've come across clients that were just terrified of what was happening to them. They don't understand. And they don't understand what's happened to them or why is this happening. And when you can teach them how to protect themselves, and we have constant communication with them for at least the first couple weeks, real communication, they're not alone. That's the thing. They are not alone. Teach them protection, they get their life back. And that's what makes the client happy. So I train people how to deal with clients and get their life back. Basically, that sums it up. And give them tools to use. Because protection's stones. It's stones, herbs, and candles, and saging. There's 4 different things that I deal with.
So being on the go ahead, Richard.
Oh, I was just going to say, after the basic astral projection class, I strongly recommend that they work on the EC team because, you can train people, but getting the real-world experience, helping people, is so important. And it's, training is good, but real-world experience. And that's why I said I think the EC care team is so important.
And I agree, because are there dangers to being an astral?
Yeah, that's a lot of it is learning the techniques you also apply to yourself. A lot of times we've had people literally freak out during training, fortunately we can help them deal with it. But the EC care training helps them understand real-world situations and how to keep themselves safe. We do train in self-protection, but sometimes you end up in situations where, you're just beyond where you need to be. So I think EC is a great opportunity for people.
And I also wanted to go into, so Chris, are there dangers to the extended care team when we're on a case?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's dangers because it can come through, it's energy that you're working with, basically, that Oh, you make me think at 1:45 in the morning. It's a lot of energy work. The, malevolent entities, that's what they go after. I mean, that's the line that they're on, is the energy. And we've had an extended care member that was affected through her computer. So that's one of the biggest jobs that I have, is to make sure that they, our team members stay protected. They have the training. Any of the EC team members are, reminded. You have to be reminded. I have to remind them and instill. I have to instill into them that they have to protect themselves. If they're not protected, number one, they're not going to be able to teach protection well, because they're not going to be able to explain it well if they don't practice it themselves. And any part of this team, there's danger. There's danger on boots on ground when you're right there. You don't know what kind of entities or spirits or anything you're running into. You don't know what's there. So if you don't have your protection up, you can get an attachment, which that did happen on one boots on ground case. So yeah, there's been people that have been affected on this team. I've been with the team for 2 years and I've seen it. So yeah, there's danger out there in paranormal. But if we didn't have protection and didn't practice the protection like we do, it would have been way, way worse than what it was, because it was fixed immediately.
Exactly. And that's why, some folks, you guys talk about protection. Well, yeah, there's dangers within this field that so many don't get and so many don't understand. And that's why protection and grounding, shielding, different stones, different herbs, different techniques we use, both in the astral side as well as the extended care and with the client. If the team's not protected, we can't help anybody. And that's the bottom line. So yes, exactly. And that's why even the extended care team has to know how to ground and shield themselves before they can go on a case, even in a Facebook chat. Because entities can come through your computer and attach themselves to you while you're working on a case. So, very important to learn, very important to utilize. And so, Richard, I know we're going to lose you at 1, so we're doing, and I might catch you off guard here, but we're doing a basic class in October with the advanced class afterwards.
So we'll do another basic class, and for people who are interested, we have some prep work to do. And so the prep work is to help the person, one, identify, are they ready for this? It's a way to kind of get some of the very basic training and see if this is something they want to do, and if they do, then they can go continue and go through the basic training, and that's about 3 to 4 weeks of, fairly rigorous training, lots of work, both on your own, working with teams, and then eventually we have the advanced class, which is much more about investigation, training, a lot of psychic self-defense, a lot of working on yourself, similar to the work for Chris, to complement it. So we'll be doing that in the October and November time.
Exactly. All right. Thank you.
And Eric, I'm going to drop along.
Okay. And I think we're losing Keith, because I think Keith's having technical difficulty. You still here with us, Keith?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So, talking off-worlders, are there different techniques that we can utilize to protect with some of the off-world issues?
With some of them, yes, it gets a little complicated because it depends on which ones. When you're dealing with ones that are heavy in the telepathic side, or what is also known as the psionic side, you've got one way. When you're dealing with ones that are heavily focused on the military side, their discipline is the way to deal with them. Their whole mentality is based on the way they look at things. So the more you understand about the different races, the easier it is to compensate for them. Or in some cases, work with them.
And are there certain shielding techniques we can use?
Well, I can tell you this, tinfoil hats don't work worth a hoot. But, realistically, the more disciplined the mind, the easier it is to deal with them. Problem is that as far as I've become aware, there's no across the board way that you can go, I'm going to protect myself from these people. Because they use so many different ways of getting through the door. You can slow them down, but realistically, it's a question of getting to understand them.
All right, agreed. And so, Chris, is Brent with us, or is Brent busy?
No, he's right here.
So, Brent, being on the Astral team, what are some of the protective techniques you utilize?
What are some of the protective techniques you utilize? There, take my phone.
Well, I just basically gonna ground and shield the way that I've. Who is it?
Yeah, I know. I caught you off guard.
Yeah.
Since we both got into it at the same time, it's kind of hard to say because Chris, I learned along with her at the shielding, both grounding and shielding. So it's kind of like, but the Astro class, it was kind of like, I already knew that stuff, I guess you could say. So,
but what do you do?
I just for my end when I shield others. Also, I do this. I incorporated a new way, as Chris learned from Keith. It's a gold and silver kind of shield.
Right.
So I will incorporate the gold and silver, and I'll just kind of encase the whole property, or however far it seems necessary. And I'll just do the whole property like that.
And then so to enhance that, we also teach the client how to ground shield and shield their own property as well, because we can't do it for them forever. We have to teach them how to do it, which is why the extended care team is so important.
Or especially Chris, yes.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that does that. I just I get rid of the.
You get rid of the nasties, and then extended care takes over.
Yeah, either that or work with them to where they'll leave them alone.
So what I want to clarify for the listeners too is, because it was a couple of years ago that we did our Q&A our roundtable at Paracon, and we got asked, well, how can you be judge, jury, and executioner? Who are you to go in and destroy paranormal issues? And we don't. So what we do is get to the root of the problem. And we've gotten to the root of the problem many times and found that it was actually an issue that didn't want to be there to begin with. And all we had to do really is open the door, get them home, and seal the door. and that handled the issue. We didn't have to go in and destroy. We've had cases where we actually protected an alien that was left behind, and then come to find out by Keith that it was a test. But bottom line is there's no reason to go in and destroy everything that we see that's an issue. You find out why it's an issue and how to get it home. Now, if it's a malevolent entity, and it's an obvious malevolent entity, that's when you send it back to where it needs to go.
Yeah, and there are times when you have to look at it and go, who are you to step in? Well, you're the people that are actually capable of stepping in.
Right. And frankly, we are here to protect the human race. We're not here to protect all spirits or all malevolent entities or, pick your poison. So when it comes down to it, and it's a spirit that's stuck and it's his home, I get that. But if you're not willing to compromise, if you're not willing to work with the human side that's living there, then that's when we have to force you over to the other side.
Well,
say again?
The ironic part is that there are rules they have to follow that more often than not, the problem is they're not following them.
Right. And that's when we enforce the rules they have to follow. But on that, not all, spirits don't have to cross if they don't want to. There's spirits here that, why are we going to cross them if they don't have to? They're not causing a problem. They don't want to cross, so we're not going to cross them. We're going to leave them alone because they're not causing an issue. So, there's deciding factors in there. And again, I don't want to talk too much because I don't want to, if you're coming to Paracon, you're going to hear some of the same stuff I'm talking about tonight. But I always use the movie The Others as the perfect example because it is. And I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie, just watch it. But we are getting down to the top of the last hour here. So on that, when we return, we will carry on our conversation.
You are listening to S4 on Spreaker.com.
Come get spooked at the 4th Annual Forest Moon Paracon in Cedarville, Washington, Saturday, September 28th. UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. Speakers include Mike Morin and Jason Jordan, R. Keith Andrews, and Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and so much more. There will be workshops and a VIP roundtable. Get early bird tickets now at fmparacon.com.
We've had several days of 80-degree plus weather here in Concrete, Washington. My family's favorite way to keep cool in this heat is to stop by Java Zone 2 and grab a delicious iced latte for me and a blended mocha for my husband. Our son just loves their creamy milkshakes, and our daughter can't get enough of their ice cream. The best part is, Java Zone 2 is conveniently located just off Highway 20 beside Loggers Landing. And I'm proud to shop local for a business that has been a staple of the Concrete and Upriver community since it opened its doors in 2010. So if you're looking for a way to keep cool in this summer heat, come check out Java Zone 2. They're fast, friendly, and local.
Hello, my name's Cole Wegleitner with Statement of Sound DJ Productions. We do mixing, monitoring, recording, and editing for all your audio needs. For our local listeners in the Skagit area, we are taking bookings for your 2019 events and parties. We have a wide array of music from any genre. Please allow us to help you make these memories last forever. Contact us at 360-999-2830 or on Facebook at www.facebook.com/SOSDJPro.
Forest Moon Paranormal is a non-for-profit emergency response team that handles all aspects of the paranormal, helping you, your family, friends, and community since 2004. Whether you're having a problem with hauntings, spirits, Bigfoot, other types of cryptids, or UFO activity. Maybe you're just unsure of what's bothering or terrifying you. Or maybe you're just afraid of criticism and disbelief. FMP is here for you. We handle cases globally and locally from our headquarters in Skagit County, Washington. We never accept any form of payment for our services and are 100% confidential. You can find us on Facebook under Forest Moon Paranormal. You can private message us for assistance, or just come join in the discussion and become part of our growing FMP community.
Are you having encounters with the paranormal, supernatural, or ufological that you cannot explain? Look no further than the SOR Sightlines Report, brought to you by the Experiencers Support Association. This is Ryan Stacy, head of the Research Association, TESSA. Soon on the Spaced Out Radio website, you'll be able to file your reports and have them researched for you. We are independent and ready to help Spaced Out Radio listeners today.
Join us on September 28th at the Cedro Woolley Community Center for 2019 Forest Moon Paranormal Paracon. VIP All Access passes on sale now at fmparacon.com. Your pass includes all-day admission to see the speakers and workshops, the Ghost Walk, a special VIP workshop, a special round table with the speakers, a Paracon t-shirt, and an FMP Paracon swag bag. These tickets can be purchased from fmparacon.com. Get yours today.
Hey everyone, Cole here with S4 Paranormal Radio, the official voice of Forest Moon Paranormal. Looking for a way to get the word out there about your business, group, team, or product? Let us help you. A few clicks is all it takes to get started at s-4radio.com, or you can contact me at 360-999-2830.
Welcome back to S4 with your host, Eric Cooper.
Welcome back to S4. Tonight it's Paracon. What is it and what do you expect? You can also find the archives at our Spreaker site and on the S4 YouTube channel for all the shows you missed. Anyway, back to the show. Oh, yeah, it's been a long... I've got to say, it's been a long year, and it's exciting. We're finally down to, under a week. You guys been counting down too?
Only by the hour.
Oh, I ain't talking about the show. I'm talking about to Paracon.
So was I.
Okay. Good. I like hearing that, especially from a speaker. So, yeah, I'm looking at the questions in the chat. What's the city ordinance on putting flyers? Here's the problem, is the expense. I'm not worried about city ordinances of putting flyers on cars. But it costs a lot, and it kills a lot of trees to have 11 billion flyers printed out to put on cars. That's where the problem comes in. Do you guys do anything about ordinances?
Well, I personally do, but that's not entirely correct.
They hang you by your toenails.
Yeah. I mean, we have signs to put up. We have banners that we can put up, but it's a matter of finding out where to put those banners up on fences that will allow us to. That's the problem.
Well, you know what sucks, but where we got told we weren't allowed, now there's one up with where we had ours.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Izzy commented on that, as a matter of fact. Like, really? So yeah, and I think a problem we have is not the ones that don't believe in the paranormal so much, but the ones that don't want it talked about. You've got too much when it comes to the religion side that controls what's talked about and what's not. Would you agree?
Why? Whatever do you mean, Eric?
Well, when you have churches that are on city councils that, everything's a demon, and oh my God, those demon invoking people are going to talk about ghosts and aliens that we don't believe in.
You're damn right we are.
Right?
Well, that's always fun to invoke a demon. Kind of like trying to summon a human.
Oh, yeah. Demons kind of laugh and go, really? Pathetic humans. Why would we want to come down and bother you?
Well, the good news is we got them in the book.
Well,
at least they acknowledge your presence. The human would just be staring at his phone still.
You're absolutely right. I can't wait for December, because December we're going to be in the Cedar Woolley Christmas Parade with an alien theme this year. 4th of July we had Bigfoot. I think that opened a lot of eyes. When it comes to, and I don't like advertising, but it's a matter of getting the word out that there is an emergency response team here for paranormal issues. And so many don't get that. They don't get that spirits can scratch you, that alien abduction is real, that, when it comes to Bigfoot, that's a hard one to discuss because that's not so much an emergency response issue, but it is, we do investigate Bigfoot reports. You have, and Chris, your comment about people saying they were surprised at how many, that there weren't any other paranormal teams in Skagit County. There's at least 4 or 5 that I know of in this county.
Yeah, they say, I didn't know there was a team this close.
Yeah. And I find that funny because I know some of these other teams actually do, they go in the parade. They do advertise to an extent. But they don't expect to see a paranormal team with a Bigfoot or a crashed alien craft on their float. They expect to see Ghostbusters, and that's it. So I think where it comes to opening people's eyes is the fact that there's a paranormal team that investigates the paranormal, not just ghosts. But Bigfoot and UFOs are part of that umbrella. Are y'all with me?
See, absolutely. I'm thinking next year for your float that you should look at getting the UFO suspended above the float.
Well, that's where you come in.
I can show you what you need. I am not technologically advanced. That's Paul's department.
No, but do you think we could borrow one?
That's what I was talking about. Talk to one of talk to one of the alien races that you communicate with, and have them come down and hover over the float.
Someone will give it back.
Oh, I wasn't talking about us flying it.
Oh, I was.
Oh.
You realize that the odds of that happening are slim to virtually non-existent?
Yeah, I know. It was wishful thinking.
I only heard half of the comment, but I got the gist of it.
Oh, okay.
You really got to be careful about which group you get to do that to.
Yeah, we don't want people disappearing.
Well, some of them.
And so Megan wants to know if the float's going to be at Paracon. No, we have to create the float, and that won't be until December. Bigfoot,
Jesus,
however,
give me time.
Well, Bigfoot, however, will be at Paracon. Our Bigfoot cutout that we have is going to be at Paracon holding a sign.
Says, hell no, we won't go.
But yeah,
he's a protester now.
There are actually pictures of our float. Well, I think on my personal page as well as in the group. It was a red, white, blue theme, obviously, for 4th of July, but then we had a woodland scene with our Bigfoot cutout, and the paranormal, the FMP junior team was gathered around a fake bonfire. That was a fun float. That was a fun parade. So I'm kind of looking forward, because obviously it's going to be a Christmas theme, but we are going to have a crashed spacecraft, and Brent running around in an alien costume, or laying on the float. Not sure which yet. But, we're going to have a different theme each year for the parades. So, it'll be fun. It'll get the word out. And, Paracon grows each year, as it always has. Which leads to, yes, within a week after Paracon, we start focusing on 2020. Make the paranormal great again. Oh, did I say that? Yeah, no, that's not going to be our theme. Sorry. Never.
Come on.
No, hell no.
That's hilarious.
And really, depending on how this year goes, if we exceed 300 to 400 people, like we're kind of projecting, that means we have to move our venue. Now, if we keep it at 200, how we do it this year depends on what we do for next year. So next year's theme, and no, I'm not jumping ahead because, this year hasn't even happened yet. But next year's theme, we're going back to hauntings. That will be the theme. So for any listeners out there who want to hear a special speaker or whatnot for next year, you can always send me an email or just shoot me a message on Facebook and give me some names. We're always looking
on itself.
Exactly. We're going to have comment cards. There you go. So, again, it takes a year, or like Cole said, a year and a half to actually plan an event that's going to be successful. And, it takes a few years of continuously in, what's the word I'm looking for? Continuity. Continuity is a good thing. So if we do keep it 200-300, then we'll keep it in Cedar Woolley. And it's always going to be the last weekend of September. So you have to, and Megan says, Bill Wachowski. I'm not even familiar with that name. I'll have to look him up. And I will look him up. But, we are keeping it the last weekend of September every year. So that part is going to be continuity. And we actually have the Pacific Northwest Bigfoot Facebook group pushing Paracon this year. So I think that's awesome. And no, Megan, that name is not going in our Paracon. So one rule, anyone that speaks at Paracon has to be valid. They have to be a legitimate source. That particular name, I won't say it's Chris's favorite person, is not going to be a Paracon. Now, if I can find, and if Cole can pull his resources and get Dan Aykroyd, oh my God, we need Dan Aykroyd to talk UFOs. Cole? Oh, Cole? Oh, never mind. I'm talking to myself because, Skype dropped. So let me get everybody pulled back in. They're all sitting there talking to themselves on Skype while I'm sitting here talking to you, our listeners. Oh, I hate technology. I really do. But, it just wouldn't be S4 if instead of dropping me, it drops everybody else. So here we go. I'm pulling everybody else back in. And those names, I will be trying to see about pulling them in. Megan, for next year. So, here we go.
But
there you go.
No, oh, we're back.
And we're back. Yes, I was just telling our listeners it wouldn't be S4 if, instead of dropping me, it drops everybody else sitting there.
Yeah,
talking.
you still need to call Chris back in.
Okay, not a problem. So I don't think y'all heard anything I'm talking about.
Not a whole lot.
No.
Penny,
So Megan's given us ideas for next year's show.
Yeah, so is Trippin'.
Okay, good. All right, so we got Chris back.
Take that, no.
There she is.
There's Chris.
Hello.
Yeah.
It didn't drop me, it dropped everybody else. I hate Skype. So
you guys all got in. Cole and I were connected quite nicely. Now the sound's breaking out again. So it's not my fault.
Right. Okay, so Trippin is saying Les Stroud. And yeah, you know what? That's a feasible speaker to get in for next year. For sure.
Yeah, because Trip's going to be here next.
Trip's going to be here next year?
I hope so.
I do too. So I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Nick. Nick has been following S4 since damn near the beginning. He's disabled. He's in, I believe, Texas. And we have to get him an autographed poster and send it to him this year.
Okay.
In fact, I told him earlier in the year that if he got together his lodging funds, that we would actually pay for his ticket here for next year.
Cool.
So, look forward to that. Again, he's been an avid S4 and FMP follower for 4 or 5 years now. Well, no, at least 3. All right, so are we counting down the hours?
Well,
not yet, just days.
Just days? Okay.
So far.
Multiply days by 24, you'll be fine.
Right. So, Cole,
yeah.
We have the speaker barbecue for Friday, Paracon for Saturday. What's new this year for Sunday?
I'll be there.
I'll volunteer and...
What?
That we are...
we're cut.
I work.
So...
Hello?
Fine connection.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh. Speaker and volunteer.
And now
speaker or volunteer?
There you go.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's Skype. We're having Skype issues tonight. So we are having speaker and volunteer breakfast this year at Cole's house.
Does Cole know?
Yeah. And Cole's cooking.
I'll be there.
Cole is cooking. Also, I know Cole is working on a bunkhouse at his house as well, to potentially house some of the speakers if they're willing to go to the bunkhouse versus hotel. So that's gonna, yeah, right, Megan. Make it to the Skype issue. Say it and so. Yeah, Skype's annoying. I think it's a connection with Skype and Spreaker, to be honest with you. So yeah, but technology, you can't live with it. You can't live without it. So you just deal with it.
Well, no, in fairness, you can live without it unless you've got a pacemaker.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Chris.
Yes.
Where do you see?
Hi, Megan.
And I understand. You know, we haven't even gotten to this Paracon, but how do we want to see Paracon grow? Because, like I was about to say before we all got cut off, the week after Paracon is over this year, we start locking in everything for next year. You know, where do we want to see Paracon in 5 years?
What do you mean after a week later? You were starting to lock things in before we even left the building.
Well, yeah.
This is true.
We have to look at how the event went. We look at comment cards that we got, ideas that we get from our guests that come. And, you know, a week later is when we start ramping up for the next year. You have to. If you want an event to grow, if you want an event to be successful, you have to start planning immediately for the next year. You don't wait and take a break for 6 months and then decide, oh, let's start getting ready for 6 months from now. It don't work that way.
No, you need that year. Quite frankly, you're better off aiming 2 years down the road. Don't get me wrong, I do not mean to cancel this year. But while you're working on Paracon on Paracon 5, start looking at Paracon 6 at the same time.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're not going to have... So, real quick, Trip's asking about nails. Yeah, that's the dog. She's going to get herself a snack. And she does need nails clipped. That's what happens when you have a microphone that picks up an ant fart. So, where do we see Paracon in 5 years?
Televised.
Something that was brought up was a Paracon where you don't sell tickets at the door. You have so many people that come to your Paracon, they have them pre-ordered already. And you don't have room for people coming to the door. Everything is
nice.
pre-sale.
Well, isn't the Paracon supposed to be kind of like Jell-O?
Say again?
You know, as in there's always room for more?
Well, it depends. Again, it depends on, your venue. So, it was funny. We got an email from a venue. They wanted us. They were going to bend over backwards to do whatever it took to get us to their venue. They had a ballroom. Guess what the problem was? They were in Kentucky.
That's the problem.
It is.
It doesn't open an interesting possibility.
Now, if they want to bend over backwards, they can fly us over there and we can host the event in Kentucky. But it doesn't help our locals.
It won't help the locals at all. Well, the question you have to ask is, standpoint, would to set.
Say again, Keith. Now you're cutting out.
Down there for them.
Oh, I'm hating Skype tonight.
That one up down there.
Say again.
Kentucky.
Say again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're chopping too, though.
Well, okay, Cole, it's you. That Eric be willing to.
Would I be willing to move it to Kentucky? I think that's what I heard.
Set up the Paracon.
If they pay for
Yeah, Trip says everybody is skipping. So here we go. We might have to cut the show early tonight just because of tech. But yes, you know, and Trip is saying live stream. So we are doing S4 live from 1 to 3. That is in the plans. As far as live streaming, you're taking the, you know, for the people that are going to the event and paying, it kind of takes that away unless we actually charge for the live stream side.
You don't want to go there. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Go ahead.
Into the tech.
Oh. So Trip is saying he's got the feeling we're being throttled. We don't get charged by bandwidth. We have unlimited, so it wouldn't be a throttle issue. Not really sure what's going on here. It could be as simple as our internet is doing updates, or who knows. But if that was the case, then I wouldn't be loud and clear. So I think it's a Skype issue because of the fact that they're choppy and I'm not. Are you guys still with me?
Yeah.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Setting up a...
Trip is saying no such thing as unlimited, and you're probably absolutely right. Megan also said have Paracon on the moon.
That would eliminate the aliens.
Well, in 5 years we might be able to go to the moon.
At that point.
Agreed. So, this is kind of the last S4 for September. In 5 years, Moon. In October, so we're going to be looking at some things as far as topics go. I would like to do, kind of like what we do in December, but do an all Halloween month for S4. So if you have some ideas for topics you want to hear about, you know, for sure, October 26th, we're doing what is Halloween and why is it a paranormal issue? Is Halloween actually does Halloween create more paranormal issues, or is it the other way around? So we're definitely doing that one. October 19th, we are doing Halloween Roundtable. And October 12th, I believe we're doing a winter safety and preparation show. Our normal PSAs. So what do we want to discuss October 5th? So if you guys have ideas for a topic that you want to hear, drop me a line. You can email me, medicineeagle, MEDICYNE_eagle @yahoo.com, or message either myself or Cole. Are you guys still here?
I'm here.
Okay.
Question mark. Get cut out.
Chris, you here?
Hear me?
There you are. Yeah, but we're all choppy. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. You guys got any final comments about Paracon?
Make FM Paracon.
Yes, if you want to get your tickets, go to www.fmparacon.com and yeah, now I think I'm getting choppy too. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. And we will see you at Paracon. I want to thank our panel for tonight. Thank you, Megan. She says have a great Paracon. And we look forward to it. So while time has flown, as it always does, I want to thank our crew. Cole Wegleitner, our technical analyst. Chris and Brent Dodge, our extended care and astral teams. Our Keith Andrews, our alien race specialist. And Richard Benak, when he was here, our astral school instructor. So next week, it is Paracon, and you might want to watch for a live show. All right. Y'all have a good night. Keep your eyes to the skies.
Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on S4, the official voice of Forest Moon Paranormal. You can contact S4 through our website at www.s-4radio.com or on Facebook. Make sure you give us a like on our page and join the Forest Moon Paranormal group. If you are interested in advertising, take a look at our packages and contact Cole or Eric at 1-360-999-2830. Again, thank you. And remember, keep your eyes to the sky.